Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. MG and the BOD on this chilly Sunday afternoon. We decided to come to you a little bit earlier. There is some inclement weather expected, so we figured let's do this now. MG, how are you?
I'm doing all right, Joe. We're trying to get the show into you before Joe is snowed in, because we're expecting about 3 feet, which would be an impossible feat for Joe.
If there were snow swimmies, I would need them. I'm not vertically acceptable this time of year.
No, it's not vertically acceptable any time of year.
That's debatable. That's debatable.
No, Joe, you know.
Okay.
Okay, let's get right to it. We had quite the championship weekend, Joe.
We did.
Okay,
let's talk about it.
First of all, let's just say how happy we are that Joe is with us, because
it was close.
He was really close to ending it all. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know we informed you guys last week. Joe Chiarappa, aka Joey the BOD, is a tremendous Green Bay Packer fan. And if you live in America or on planet Earth, we all saw the choke job of Green Bay 2015. Yeah. And Joe, I'm happy that you're here, because I really was nervous. There
were times after the game where I thought about it, just ending it. It got that close.
Those times that you thought about it,
just well, that's wrong. But I accept it. There are so many things I have questions about. I mean, I'm totally against not going for it on 4th and 1 in the first quarter.
Awful.
Russell Wilson, that offense, you let them try to go 99 yards. You stick it home.
99 and a half.
You set the tone of the game. You trust the best offense in the league. But I do think if Aaron Rodgers was healthy, quarterback sneak, because he is mobile. I know it's only a half a yard, but it does make a difference.
But it was an absolutely brutal...
Tale of two halves.
Again,
Tale of two halves.
And I'm not saying...
No, I know. I know you're not.
I'm not saying it just to bust Joey's balls, but it was a brutal loss. And people want to blame Bostic for the game.
Wrong.
And let me tell you something. You people have no idea what you're talking about, because the game should have never gotten to that.
Those people who do think that, you need to keep on watching this show so Matt and I can inform you what football in this great sport is all about. Because that kid should not be held accountable for losing that game.
Definitely not.
Should have never got to that point. I mean, stupid penalties, Morgan Burnett going down.
I blame one person for that loss.
Mike McCarthy.
No, well, Mike McCarthy. He's got a hand in it, but you just said his name, Morgan Burnett. Why are you sliding with 5 minutes and 42 seconds left in the game?
Yeah.
Like the guy was basically...
He was gone.
He was playing like there was 40 seconds left in the game. He had 35 yards of clean friggin' grass in front of him. All he had to beat was a fat offense. It was turf. Whatever, Joe. You know what I mean. Don't be salty.
It was turf.
All he had to beat was the offensive lineman. And the worst case scenario, you're in field goal range.
Right.
He slides at the 50.
I mean, the Ha-Ha Clinton Dix play with the 2-point conversion. Russell, it goes down in the books as a 3-yard 2-point conversion. The ball was thrown 45 yards cross field. I don't know what Ha-Ha was doing.
I don't know what he was doing either. Probably thinking about why his parents named him Ha-Ha.
It's actually Hassim.
The ball was in. I don't care.
It's Hassim.
I don't care what it is. You know what it should be named? I can't defend a 2-point Hail Mary.
Listen, regardless. Tale of two halves. The game slipped away, but you know what? You got to make lemonade when there's lemons, right? And I got to tell you, if you're a Packer fan, yeah, I know this is going to stick with us for a long time. This goes down with the Jerry Rice fumble that never occurred, but they put it into replay in the year after. The 4th and 26, Ed Donatel. If I ever saw you, I'd kick the shit out of you. But you know what? Aaron Rodgers is that guy. With the chip on his shoulder, Butte Community College, Cal, being taken 26th overall, 26th overall, being passed up on his favorite team of the 49ers for Alex Smith. Alex Smith went number 1 overall of Aaron Rodgers.
Let's not make fun of Alex Smith.
No, I'm just saying.
Alex Smith's a decent quarterback. He is no Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, what we said in the last show, I believe is the MVP.
Right.
I also believe that Green Bay was my Super Bowl pick. I had Green Bay winning the Super Bowl. I had Green Bay against the Colts. We'll get to the Colts in a little bit. Yeah. Obviously, I swung and missed on that one. But I did have Green Bay in the Super Bowl, and I think they should be there. But
they're not. But
why they play the game.
Right, which is great about football. Any given Sunday, right?
Yeah.
But this is what the Packers needed, a kick in the ass. I saw their opponents. Look it up if you want. It's a tough schedule. I'm telling you right now, if you're a gambling man, Go throw $100 on the prop bet for the Packers to win the Super Bowl. They're going 13-3. You heard it here first. Super Bowl victory next year. You think if there's anybody in this league who holds a chip on their shoulder more than Aaron Rodgers, I've yet to meet him. Wow. So listen. Tough loss. You move on.
I mean, that's a bold prediction, Joseph.
It's been done before.
It's a bold prediction.
Well, that's what I do. I just give out bold predictions.
8-8.
That would be the 16th year.
Is that bold?
Not really. That would be the 16th year of not making the playoffs, really?
Yeah.
That's what you're going with. You have no confidence.
Nah, well, I don't
let's not talk about the Bills. We'll save them for another day. Yeah, we're in the playoffs.
We need to talk about failure.
Right.
We're done with that. We're done with the Green Bay and Seattle game. It was an awful loss. But Seattle won, and we have to talk about the NFC representative, which is Seattle, which we will get to. The AFC Championship game.
This was not a game.
The complete opposite of a good game.
But if you knew football, you kind of knew that this was coming. The odds were against them. I mean, once the Broncos got eliminated, the Patriots must have been on their high horse. Yeah, because they didn't want to play the Broncos.
And as much as I do love Peyton Manning and the Broncos,
we know you love Peyton, you love Luck. I know. Right.
But I do think that Tom Brady and the Patriots were going to beat the Broncos anyway. So they were destined to go to the Super Bowl. They've just been playing the best football in the AFC and quite possibly the NFL.
I totally agree with everything you just said.
Yeah.
I really do. They are on point.
Even if they deflate balls.
Yeah, well,
Which is the biggest ridiculous story in the world.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And
we'll touch on it.
Yeah, briefly, because we think it's a joke.
But that's just bullshit.
Yeah, it's so stupid because you know what? You don't need the footballs deflated when LeGarrette Blount was running for 3 touchdowns. I mean, it's 21 points. So let's say that those passes and the deflated balls did have something to do with those touchdowns. It's still 21-7 Patriots.
Here's my take on Deflategate, which is just everybody has to come up with a nickname and add gate at the end of it, which is ridiculous. But here's my take on it: is the Patriots were going to beat the Colts no matter what.
Agreed.
No matter what they played with.
Agreed.
My feelings on it is that they can't abide by the rules, which is just ridiculous. Whether they did it or they didn't, or whether they didn't know or they didn't know, the fact of the matter is that they weighed the Colts balls, they weighed the Patriots balls prior to the game.
Right.
They both passed inspection. They both had proper PSI. After the game, the Colts ball still had proper PSI, and the Patriots ball didn't.
Correct.
So somewhere along the line, something happened.
Listen,
something happened,
right.
And the fact that they can't abide by the rules annoys me.
I totally agree with you.
You're
right.
Do it. They're a good team.
But to play devil's advocate here, if you can't prove it, you have no case. Now, with that said, because this is potentially their second offense, okay, you're Commissioner Goodell. What's the punishment?
Belichick's gone the whole year.
The whole year.
You're going to suspend Sean Payton for bounty gate, quote unquote. I guess gate. Everybody has to add
gate.
If you're going to suspend Sean Payton for the entire year over something that his defensive coordinator did, I'm not saying he didn't know about it. I'm not saying he didn't have a part in it. When you're the head coach, you know what's going on in your team.
I agree.
All right. So when you hear
you have to take responsibility.
When you hear Bill Belichick stand up there and tell us that he had nothing to do with it, he didn't know about it, bullshit, Bill, all right? You're a great coach. You didn't need to do it. You knew about it. I would suspend him. If I'm Roger Goodell, I'd suspend him the whole year.
Okay. I'm going to take a different take. Because you can't fully prove it, but we think that there's something fishy going on, my penalty, what was it, 11 to 12 balls were illegal?
Well, I read multiple stories that all 12 were illegal.
Okay.
But the final report was 11 out of 12.
And their last fine was $500,000 with the whole Spygate. I'm saying $1 million a ball because all that money goes to charity. $11 million.
$1 million a ball.
A ball. $11 million to charity because you know $500,000 doesn't hurt these guys. But Mr. Kraft has that in his sock drawer. Who cares? Yeah. I want a big fine. You put it to
$5 in my sock drawer.
I don't even have $5 in my bank account. Yeah. Okay. For you big people out there with the production companies, you need to pick us up because we might not be able to afford groceries.
We might not.
Okay. I'm talking $1 million a ball. The money goes to a great cause, and first and second round picks forfeited this year.
I agree with you. I think Roger is eventually going to come down with a draft pick penalty.
He has to set the tone with this. This is too much that the Patriots get away with stuff like this.
The fact that it's his second offense is just absurd.
Right.
You know. But again, we don't want to talk about it because it really is a ridiculous story. Because again, they just didn't need to do it.
And it takes away from the actual game because I don't think it played a factor. And this is the biggest weekend of the year. This is what you football fans look forward to most, and it's totally taken over by media with this stupid Deflategate. Get over it. Okay. With that said,
enough.
You know, we need to get over it too. With that said, I, Joseph Chiarappa, the BOD, was right in the Super Bowl prediction. Seahawks Patriots called it from the get-go.
Great job. You're
well, you know,
you're the regular.
When you know, I'm like Nostradamus. When you know, you know.
You're like Napoleon
with a bigger nose.
Well, definitely height.
He was like 5'7". Did you know that?
Yeah, he would tower over you.
Well, you know, not with my cleats on. Remember that. Let's get into it. Pat Seahawks matchup.
I think it's going to be a great game.
Yeah, I do too.
I think it's going to be a great game. I think both teams. I wouldn't call it a chip because they really, you know, the Patriots are a dynasty of the 2000s, and the Seahawks. Not that they're a dynasty, but they have ran the show. You know, the past year and a half. I know they won last year, but they started coming on.
Absolutely. You're right on what you're saying.
So I think they both deserve to be there. I think they're both going to have a really good game. I think the Seahawks defense is going to challenge Brady. The X factor for the Patriots, I would say, is Gronkowski. I'd say if he gets going, Patriots might pull it off. But ultimately, well, we will get to the predictions later. I think it's going to be a hard time for the Patriots to win.
Okay. I also think it's going to be a good game. But I am the firm believer you do not give Bill Belichick 2 weeks to prepare for a football game.
Like Nick Saban.
It's like Urban Meyer.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Urban Meyer.
College-wise.
Right. The guy, he's an unbelievable coach. He just knows the ins and outs, X's and O's. Matchup-wise, I favor the Patriots big time. Because if I'm the Patriots, even if Seattle goes 3 wide, I have no problem going McCourty, Revis, and Brandon Brown on one-on-one with no safety over the top, putting 8 guys in the box and trying to stop Marshawn Lynch. Because do you trust any of the Seahawks wide receivers against those DBs?
Negative.
So what do you do? What do you do?
But that's the reason why, if you look at the blueprint that the Packers laid out,
which is there,
which is obviously on film, the Packers had the blueprint to beat that team, and they did for 54 minutes. They really, they beat them for 54 minutes. The blueprint is exactly what you just said. Seahawks receivers, I mean, listen, they're professional football players. They're obviously better than me and you. Debatable. But the defensive backs on the Patriots are superior to the offensive wide receivers and tight ends on the Seahawks.
I think Eddie Lacy ran the ball well, and I think Belichick will do that with Blount.
Do you really see? Again, LeGarrette Blount.
Yeah, I see 15 touches.
Do you see? I see 15 touches too. But do you see him doing to that Seahawks defense what he did to the Colts defense?
Matt, if you can't put 7 guys in the box, you know, if they go Amendola, LaFell, Gronk, spread out.
Putting 7 in the box, they could not stop this guy.
I mean, the Colts really, other than T.Y., take T.Y. away, what do they have offensively? We're going to count on Boom Herron to be productive?
Let's call a spade a spade.
A one-hit wonder, essentially?
The Colts are just not a good team.
No, they were a good team. They went up against a much better team.
You take Andrew Luck off that team, they went.
They're 4-12.
Games.
They're 4-12.
4 or 5 games.
But that regardless, I think LeGarrette Blount touches the ball 15 times. I think he rushes for 75, 80 yards. I think he definitely puts 1 home, if not 2, in the end zone. I'm going to say a prediction.
We're going to get right into it.
I'm going to say the New England Patriots defeat the Seattle Seahawks 27-17.
27-17?
27-17. Okay. What do you think?
I respectfully disagree with you, which
That's fine.
We normally do.
Right.
I say it's going to be a little bit closer. I mean, obviously 10 points is close, but I'd say it's going to be a little bit closer. I think it's going to be the old Vinatieri days of last-second field goals here. Obviously, it's Gostkowski now, but it's going to be a last-second field goal that wins this game. And whether it's Hauschka or
Hauschka,
whatever the hell.
No, you have to go with the H. Hauschka.
It's like Hush.
Right.
Hush.
That was good.
Like I'm Jewish.
Yeah.
Hauschka.
Yeah, really get it out. Okay.
My final prediction, I think it's going to be higher scoring than that.
Wow. 2 defensive. That's
so
okay.
What did you say, 27-17?
I said 27-17. On camera.
On camera.
On camera. I can't go back on it.
Seattle 30. Seahawks 28.
30-28.
Hold on a second. I said Seattle.
Wow.
Seattle 30, Patriots 28.
That's 58 points.
30-28.
Well, Super Bowls are sometimes high scoring.
30-28. Seahawks take it. And it's going to be a last-second field goal. It's going to be 27-28.
Okay.
2 minutes left.
On a personal note, I'm not rooting for the Seahawks.
No, me either. I'm not rooting for anybody. I'm rooting for the Bills.
I'm rooting for my box. I have so much money on boxes. Like, one of them has to hit just to break even, okay? Maybe that's why I can't afford groceries.
I mean, these two teams, like, as good as they are in football, I think most of America does not like these teams.
Right.
Unless you're a Seahawk or a Patriot fan, these teams are just, they're so easily hateable.
You know, my logic was not the fact that the Seahawks beat the Packers. That has nothing to do with it. You know what my logic was?
Well, tell me your logic, Joe.
East Coast, West Coast. Biggie was from the East Coast. I'm a Biggie fan. You're big. I'm big. Pats.
Biggie died.
Let's not bring that up.
Biggie was like 5 shots in the car.
I know, it was awful.
So we all know how that ended.
Yeah.
So obviously.
But we didn't lose we lost the battle, but we didn't lose the war.
Well, no, listen. West Coast won the war.
No, Tupac went down.
No, Tupac's still alive. Machiavelli is. Illuminati.
Come with me. All right, so you have our predictions. Think what you want about them. Write to us, please.
Patriots, Seahawks.
Right. 27-17, 30-28. Email us your questions for after the Super Bowl, because we will be coming back. We'll announce the dates later. Yes, Facebook us.
mgandthebod@yahoo.com. It should come across the bottom of the screen right now through the magic of production. And send us your questions. We've been receiving some questions, not as much as we'd like, but some questions. Some questions were good, some questions were stupid.
Yeah, but that's expected. You know, we're going to get to them.
We don't care. Send us your dumb questions. We don't care.
Right. We want to see.
We'll give you dumb answers.
Right. You know, this is our second show. You haven't even begun to see the magic we're going to bring to the world. Okay? This is cool and all. Yeah. Wait till it gets nicer out. Okay? We're not winter people. We're not built for this. We're built for this.
I'm insulated like a winter person.
Right. I have 7 layers of Under Armour on right now.
I believe it.
It shows.
You're like Fat Eddie.
Yeah, well, fatter, actually.
Yeah. Do you have a rib protector on?
Did you mean Eddie Lacy?
Do you have a rib protector
Didn't we talk about this?
You look like
he's so not fat.
You look like you have a rib protector on.
I actually do right now. Those roads are dangerous. You need to be safe at all times.
I understand.
All right, so you got the social media outlets. Before we go, we'll give you the dates, but we want to do something a little new here. Bold predictions for the upcoming season, the 2015-16 season. Pretty much something that we think that would surprise people in the free agency world that affects teams. You want to go 1-1-1?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Go ahead.
Shoot first.
Go ahead.
Right,
shoot from the hip.
My bold prediction has to do with my Buffalo Bills, of course.
Selfish.
Yeah, selfish. I know, it's selfish.
I didn't do that, just so you know.
We talked about how Rex Ryan became the head coach of the Buffalo Bills. Whether I like it or not is really not important, to be honest with you. But what I will say is, if the New England Patriots do win the Super Bowl, I think Darrelle Revis would want to be reunited with Rex Ryan. And I do see him as a Super Bowl champion, having nothing else to prove, wanting to be reunited with Rex. So my number 1 bold prediction is Darrelle Revis will be a Buffalo Bill next year.
Can the Bills afford him?
The Bills?
That's a real question.
Yeah, the Bills can.
Okay, fair enough. It's a good one. I like that.
It's not bad.
Since we are in the New York metro area, I'm going to give one for you New York Jets fans. I think that we have a unification of 2 best friends. They're going from the West Coast to the East Coast. I think Eric Decker teams up with Demaryius Thomas and is a New York Jet. Demaryius Thomas to the New York Jets because they're going to get rid of Percy Harvin. Obviously, they may not have somebody throwing the ball.
That's your boy.
Yeah, I love him.
Let me ask a question. Does Demaryius Thomas, does he come with as hot of a wife as Eric Decker did?
If he does, that's in the signing bonus.
Because Jesse James...
Smoke show.
Jesse James? Because I don't even look at her name. I just look at her.
Right. Well, that's all you need to.
I don't really care what her name is. I don't.
She is unbelievable.
She is unbelievable. So if Demaryius Thomas has a hot wife like Jesse James, sign it.
Yeah, put him in the signing bonus.
Yeah.
You know? So that's mine. Demaryius Thomas to the Jets.
Okay. My number 2 bold prediction of this offseason has to do with our leading rusher in the NFL, Mr. DeMarco Murray of the Dallas Cowboys, which I don't think he will be a Dallas Cowboy next year. I think Jerry Jones likes big things. He likes...
He'd like you then.
He would love me.
Yeah.
He would love me. Yeah. He likes making a splash. He would like your nose, too. He likes making a splash. He likes reinvigorating his fan base, which I don't think they need too much reinvigorating because they did pretty well this year, but they have been a perennial loser up until this year. I think Jerry Jones goes out and gets AP, Adrian Peterson. That is not my bold prediction, though. My bold prediction has to do with the running back that they're going to lose, which is Mr. DeMarco Murray, the leading rusher of the NFL. I think DeMarco Murray will be a Baltimore Raven next year.
I totally disagree.
Well, you can disagree, but that's why we call them bold predictions, Joe.
It's logically, it doesn't even make sense.
Why doesn't it logically make sense?
They have a 1,200-yard rusher there now.
It's just
it doesn't matter. It's a throwing league. Why are you going to waste money on... I'll tell you what. If you're a GM and I'm a GM, I'm thankful you're spending that money on a running back.
Really?
Well, what's he a year? What's DeMarco Murray a year?
Listen. DeMarco Murray to Baltimore, first of all, it's a bold prediction, okay?
I understand. You're right about that.
So I'm not sitting here telling you that it's going to happen. What I'm saying is that a fan base that lost their running back in week 1 for knocking out his girlfriend in an elevator, the owner of the Baltimore Ravens needs to reestablish to his fan base that we are going to get a marquee running back. And my bold prediction is DeMarco Murray to the Ravens.
Okay, so you went out on a limb there.
It's very out on a limb.
Yeah.
I mean, if it does,
you would have probably fallen off that cliff.
Listen, it's a strong limb if I'm on it.
Yeah, clearly. All right, well, that's yours. To each his own. I definitely, folks, that's not going to happen. Hopefully we revisit this and I'm wrong, because it'll give you viewing people at home something to laugh about. Yeah. I'm going to go with my number 2. This guy did not play in the league last year. He was smoking the kush.
He was smoking
the sticky icky, as they call it in the hood. Justin Blackmon will be a New England Patriot. The Jaguars have young studs at the wide receiver, a young quarterback. And
he didn't even play football last year.
Right. That's why it's bold.
Kevin Hart's going to be a Buffalo Bill.
Continuing the laughter that occurs in Buffalo, because that team's a fucking joke, okay? Justin Blackmon to the Pats. The Pats need an established number 1. Edelman will be a great number 2. He's not a number 1. Compliment Gronk even more, and Brady will have, not saying he's Randy Moss, but a Randy Moss-esque 2.0.
I rib you a little bit for your bold prediction, but I actually I don't think it's outlandish. I think.
Thank you.
I don't. I think players go to New England to revitalize their career, and for whatever reason, I don't know why, but for whatever reason, it works.
Yeah.
Whether it's
he brings out the best in players.
Whether it's Robert Kraft, whether it's Belichick, it's just the system that New England runs. They happen to curb bad attitudes.
Exactly right. He's a no-nonsense guy. So that's my bold prediction. Additionally, we want to bring to you our upcoming shows, the dates.
Once a month, right?
Once a month. Up until the NFL draft. And we'll be coming to you once a week for your fantasy football seasons and our NFL season for 2015-2016. We'll be coming to you on February 23rd.
February 23rd.
March 23rd.
March 23rd.
And April 27th.
April 27th, which is the Monday before the actual NFL draft.
I'm thrilled about that.
I'm pretty pumped up myself.
I can't wait.
Pretty pumped up myself. I don't know why, because the Bills don't have a first round pick, but I'm pretty pumped up.
We'll live vicariously through me.
I will live. Yeah, I do, Joe.
Only in that aspect.
Yeah, that's the only aspect in this world that I would live vicariously through you in is the NFL draft and your Green Bay Packers.
Well, there's some others that we won't bring up on camera because people won't like it.
Joe,
but, you know,
Joe.
Just go with it.
Joe,
just go.
Okay. We don't want Joe.
Oh, so. you know what? We also want your questions. MG and the BOD at yahoo.com. Tweet us, Facebook us. We want to answer all questions.
We're all over social media.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if the questions are stupid or prevalent, because we want to get to them all. We will answer them all, but we need your questions. We do. We want your help. Help us help you. That's what we want to do, Matt, right?
Okay, Jerry Maguire.
Well, you know, that's what we do. We're agents for the people.
We are agents for the people.
And we're not even asking for 10%.
No, we don't even make enough to give 10%.
No, it's awful, actually. Listen, MG, the BOD, join us for this ride. We're going to have a good time.
Once a month, up until the NFL draft.
This is going to be special.
It's going to be special, baby. We want you to take the ride with us.
Enjoy.